Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so we're putting this in repeat right now. So again, with our scissors, we can cut it in half. Instead of scissors, we're going to use guidelines. So you go to the ruler. So again, you have to say view rulers. Make sure your rulers are showing. Mine are showing, so I'm good. It's also a good idea to make sure your guides are showing. So if I click it, it'll hide them. I don't want to hide them. I want to show it. But if it says show them, you would click show because you want to show guides. So I'm going to pull out a guideline. They all live inside the ruler. That's where the guides live. You go click, drag, and this is just like me at the cutting table. Cut. I want to cut my art right there.
You know that's the center because how?
It doesn't even have to be on the center. You know what? A lot of times I actually will do it like right here. You just need it. I just want to cut it somewhere where there's not an awkward white space. Like right here wouldn't be good because there's nothing really crossing it. I just want to cut it where these will all match up and it'll look kind of fluid. Okay. Okay, so I need another guide here. Go ahead. It was hiding in our ruler. You see that?
So you clicked and dragged.
Yeah, I hovered over it and I clicked the mouse and I dragged it and it popped out. Yeah. I get lots, and I can make them go away too. Select them and delete them. So again, view rulers. You should see rulers and view guides. Okay. So you put your guides somewhere on your art. Bad place to put a guide. Good place. Good place. Good. It's all good. So I'm gonna do it right here, kind of on the end. Now I need to kind of separate. Right. I want all this artwork on the end. So let's see, how else do I explain that to you? So this could be my tile repeat, right? Like this edge here. And then I would want this edge on the other side, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click and drag. I'm gonna select any object that touches my guide. Okay, I selected my guide and any object crossing it. Now I'm going to hit Option on my keyboard. I'm going to hover over with my mouse what is selected. So my mouse is not over here in La La Land. It's on what's selected. I'm going to push Option. A little white arrow should pop out. And I'm going to click and drag. Now I don't want it to dip. I want it to stay exactly on the same level. So how do I get it to stay on the same level and not go up a hair? Shift. My best friend, Shift. And I drop it wherever I want. Maybe I'll drop it right here.
Do you have to have format in mind though?
Do I have to have format?
Yeah.
Let me go ask that. Let's talk about that in a little bit. I don't know. Let me finish explaining this. This is my format. Yeah, this is my format that I wanted. I wanted it tossed. So that's my format, is kind of a tossed.
Aside, now you've got a rectangle instead of a square. What do you have to have in the end?
In the end, you're going to have a rectangle. Any shape rectangle. It can also be a square. Can't be a circle. Can't be a funky shape. You want a rectangle, like a tile. So then it could be a repeat. Yeah. So you do want a rectangle. Maybe certain companies might say, oh, we want your rectangle 48 inches by 30 inches. I've worked with one company, it's a swimwear company, that did dictate what tile they wanted. That's the only company. Every other apparel company, it could be anything. If you do it to Spoonflower, it could be 5 inches by 7 inches. It could be 100 inches by 2 inches. Spoonflower doesn't care, as long as it's a rectangle that can repeat.
It's not something you have to have in mind the whole time. As far as where your print's going to start and where it's going to end up, or you don't care.
No, I just care if it starts here and ends here, because then it'll line up.
You don't care about the size.
I don't know, I might not be understanding. So maybe when I finish this, hopefully in my instructions, it maybe might answer what you're thinking. If not, let's talk about it again, because I don't want to get too off topic, because it's a very confusing process already. Go ahead, Julissa.
Once you sliced it, what was the next step?
So let's go back. I selected, I didn't like really slice it, to be honest with you. If I had printed out like that piece of paper, I would go over to the slicer and I would slice it. But here, because I'm doing it on the computer, all I did was I just put a guide right here, and I said, this is where I want my repeat to start. If I could slice it, I want it sliced here. And then I want all of this stuff to actually be on the other side too. So you drop your guideline and then you click and drag any object that's touching the guide or crossing. And I'm copying it by holding Option, and I make sure it stays in line. And I could drop it wherever. You know, if you are working that swim company, this has to be 42 inches, you could put it out 42 inches. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, it is a reason why you would want to grab a small slice and not literally halfway, because then you're going to end up with a really wide.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so now I got to go in and fill this space. Let's look at this. So I can move things around. I can add more objects. You know, I can copy it. I'm not going to move that guy. I'm just going to kind of copy it. Maybe, you know, put that there. What else do I need to do? Maybe I add that. So you kind of fill it in so it doesn't look like, oh, there's this weird white gap. Why is there a weird white gap, right? So that's kind of up to you to sort of figure out, how do I make this look good? Oops. There. So maybe you're like, okay, that's better. That's filled in. I think that looks good. Okay. There's a clear box method. When you take artwork and drop it in the swatch palette, it can't repeat funky shapes. It can only repeat a rectangle. So I did that already, remember? Here, let's look at what I did. Or this thing with all the white lines. If I pull it back out, you will notice there is now a rectangle. I didn't draw a rectangle. The pattern box, he gave me the rectangle because that's the way my artwork fits. My rectangle has a clear fill. It has a clear stroke. It's kind of like, I don't know, like computer talk. Illustrator saying, okay, this is how you're going to repeat your pattern. So when it repeats it, it lines up its little rectangle tile. It says repeat, repeat. Do you kind of see that? So we are moving, so what we want to do is we want the clear box to not repeat over here. We want it to repeat on both these guidelines. And you got to get it right on. Where's my thing? Where's my box? There it is. Okay. So I want it right exactly on my guideline. I don't know why it's giving me. Normally it snaps to it, makes your life easy. There it goes. Now it's snapped. So it's exactly on my guide. Let me see if the other side's on the guide. Oops, geez. I don't need to do that. No, it wasn't. So that's my clear box. We need the clear box exactly on the guide. That's probably the hardest part, is that's where people mess up. Not that hard. Okay, my clear box is on my guideline, right? Exactly on my guideline. Now the other trick is that not only does it have to have a clear fill and a clear stroke, but there's one other mandatory requirement. It has to be on the very bottom layer. So after you make your clear box, you have to go Object, Arrange, Send to the back. Okay? Now, I select all this. I cannot make a repeat of my green guidelines, so I have to deselect them. I see a lot of students try to do it and it gets rejected. The pattern, the swatch won't take it. Swatch palette will not. It doesn't know how to make a repeat of something that's infinity length. So you have to delete those. Okay, or deselect them, sorry. Now I can click, drag, and drop. Okay, let's see if it makes a difference with my clear box. Yeah, see left to right, it's looking great. Top and bottom, not so much. I haven't done the top and bottom yet, but left and right, smooth as butter. Better than this guy. This guy, you could kind of see the breakups. Okay, so now I gotta do the same to the top and bottom. So I pull out, go ahead.
The clear box, you highlight from guideline to guideline, and then you have to send it to the back.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So right here's my clear box. So I have too much white showing, obviously, in the top and the bottom. So let's do a guideline and let's chop it right here. I have to select everything that crosses that guide. I don't need this guide and I don't need him. I don't want to copy those guys. I'm going to copy and paste this, or actually just hold Option out and just put it wherever I really want. Maybe that's fine. And now I got to go in and fill in the like weird little holes. So I got to kind of change my pattern, but make sure you don't touch the line. Don't cross the line or you're causing trouble for yourself. Because the line right now is perfectly in repeat. And it's up to you to figure out how you want to figure out the spacing to where you think it looks nice. Okay, so maybe that's good. I don't know if I need that thing. Maybe I like this. So now that clear box that I drew, where did he go? Okay, there he is. I need him to actually hit on my new guideline that I made for it. So it kind of looks like he is. Oh no, he's off the hair. Is that annoying? Okay, now I think he's really on it. Yeah. Okay, let's go find the other guy. When I hit the letter V, when I hit the letter V, I can see where my clear box is. Oh, I'm going to zoom in. Hitting letter Z to zoom, V to kind of look at my selection. It looks like it's right on the guideline, so I'm good. Okay, why not? Your clear box is selected. Would it hurt to say object arrange, send it back? Nah, might as well just do it, make sure. Select all this. Do not select your guidelines. They cannot be thrown into the repeat. I don't know what that is. Okay. Click, drag, drop. Select our huge rectangle we made, change the fill. There you go, look at that. Now, do you see this? So sometimes Illustrator does that on purpose to help you, just so you know where the repeat is. So if I printed this out, it would be smooth, you wouldn't see it. It's just, or you did it wrong and there's a space. So I don't know, it's one of those two. So you can go object rasterize, which is like printing it on your screen. But definitely go edit undo because you don't want your artwork to stay rasterized. It's like turning it into a JPEG. So, but rasterize is quicker than printing and saves on paper. So it's basically flattening my artwork. So let's see if that line is still there, then I know I made a mistake and my clear box was off a little bit. But if it goes away, it's just Illustrator helping me out so I can see where sometimes you, as a designer, you do want to see where your repeat is. See, it's gone. So it was just Illustrator. I'm going to hit Command Z. Always do that because now it's back to vector form. Okay, now Illustrators obviously come a long ways. So there is easier ways to do it, but I just want everyone to know that there's a clear box that does exist. But let's say we have our original pattern. There is now this new cool tool, and it's probably even cooler in the cloud. I haven't gotten to play with it yet, but it says Pattern Options. And you can edit your pattern while looking at it, which I love this. Window. It's a new little toy for you. So now you can you can select something in your pattern and you can hold Option and just put it over here on the line. So because it's showing you your clear box. Did you see that? This is your clear box. So once I put it here, it automatically put it up there for me. Do you see that? Not friendly, little bugger. So you can really see how it changes your EP. I don't like to show you that first because I really do want you to understand the clear box method. And but I mean, this is something you could use if you do start getting into trouble. So see how so now there's 4 of them, skulls. Isn't that handy? That's a handy little toy. Yeah. And I was holding Option if I want to make a copy. And I'm kind of filling in the white because I don't want this ugly white business. So that's helpful too. And then it'll make a copy over here. So that's Illustrator's newest little gizmo, which thank God. I don't know why they haven't had that, to be honest with you, sooner. But I want you to know both ways because there's more control. So there you go, look at that. So some people think that's easier. I don't know. They're both ways. You have more control the first way, I think, the first time out. So anyways, you are going to put it in repeat. Yeah.